It's Week 18 of the NFL, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Bengals and the Chargers, coming up next.
From the future home of Super Bowl 56, there's a look at SoFi Stadium just south of downtown Los Angeles. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Chargers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Chargers coming into play. They have a tremendous aerial attack, one of the best in the league. But they're going to face a stiff test here.
I don't think that they'll face a tougher test all season long because this is the #1 defense in the NFL. A team that puts a lot of pressure on a quarterback. And we know from talking to both of these teams, neither of them is going to back down from this challenge.
Has this one teed up, and we are underway in Southern California. Here's James. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when there are bodies on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield.
On first down, it's Herbert. This is the tight end, Njoku. This defense for the Bengals, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. This is swung out to Eckler. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up second down.
Brings up second and 3.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's Herbert. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Herbert now. On the screen, this is Eckler. Shoves him aside. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 6.
Here's Herbert. Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on 3rd down. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Back deep, D.D. Westbrook. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
I guess we have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he'd probably just tell him, listen, you want to get involved?
Go out.
Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Burrow, he'll air this one out for Boyd. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the headlines, but incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Here's Burrow. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Jerry Tillery, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? We usually talk about does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took him to the lemons.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
2nd and 6.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
Here's Jamie Gillen down as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
He completes it to Boyd. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. Our first update now comes from Atlanta. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. He takes us from the 30 to the 34. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Herbert. He'll get this to Eckler. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. That's into the hands of Eckler. That catch good for only a couple. On 2nd down, Eckler. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for L.A. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Cincinnati set to take over once again. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, LA. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Point after try forthcoming. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Joe Burrow and the Bengals set to go back on offense. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. A big pickup there on the run. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense. You've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. second down. Here's Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
And we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers, but how about here? This is a quarterback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on third down. Now it's Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 27-yard line.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 27. Burrow's throw going to be caught by Boyd. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. He'll check this one down to Michel. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a third down coming up. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Shifts by at the 15. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 43 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that, and it wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and we are tied here in the second quarter. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Now James returning. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. L.A. readies for its next possession. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up. Of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Herbert takes it and just pops it forward. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. The Chargers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw here, Herbert. That's taken in by the tight end, McKitty. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's gotten a joker over the middle. 7 yards to pick up there.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 45.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Out of the gun, Herbert. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. DJ Reader drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Westbrook now on the return. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
And he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Burrow will throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. On the give, this is Eckler. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
And the Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Burrow on play action. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Burrow, throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
A 3-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
An extra quarterback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Now Burrow. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Uchenna and Rosu got the sack there. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. So possession goes over here on the punt.
Let's go.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
To throw again on 2nd down. Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. To throw on 2nd and 10. Herbert. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 45-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. A handoff, it's Eckler. Broken tackle. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth. He's miles away and smiling.
And happy. I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. On 1st and 10, Herbert. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Williams. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Herbert operating from the red zone. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Ball on the 8, it's 2nd and 4. Herbert throwing again. Touchdown! Christian Kirk hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have taken the lead.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
They'll go in for 2. They'll kick the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That time, a 9-play drive. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
Let's go.
Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. And Burrow going to throw again. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And he'll decide to keep this once more. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. Justin Herbert leading this unit out for their next possession.
He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. DJ Reader able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. But when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out west at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. And it's the Niners who have the lead as those two teams play the second quarter. The Niners looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, we head east to Minnesota to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers leading the way with a couple of touchdown passes in the victory. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they were losers in their ball game as the visiting Buffalo Bills come in and took it to them. Devin Singletary, a touchdown run in the victory. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for the Bengals in that first half. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first two quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Now D.D. Westbrook to return. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work.
Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there for Cincinnati.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw taken in by Adams. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He completes it to Boyd. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. So that one will be accepted. Here we go. On third down, Burrow. That's going to be caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Mixon.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Now they go play action now. Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
McPherson on for the point after. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. Here's James. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective, because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
On the screen, this is Eckler. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up, nor practiced it, because on 1st down, you're trying to get some yardage to set up 2nd and 3rd down calls. In this case, had to drop it off to his running back. But, boy, they closed quickly on that one and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert throwing the out route incomplete. That's Williams. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Here's Herbert. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Dayo Odangbo in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And here comes Westbrook. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. 2nd and 5 now. Burrow shakes off the sag. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Here's Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Burrow. To Mixon on the check down. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals have scored again in this third quarter, this time to move out in front. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. 5 plays there on that drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Possession switching back now to the Chargers. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Herbert off of play action. He's got his tight end McKinney right side complete. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Well, maybe he was going to be involved in that play from his tight end spot, and he jumped.
Yeah, don't tell me that those guys don't like to block. That's what we say about them nowadays in the NFL. But I think he felt he was one of the key pieces in that play and wanted to get out and execute the assignment very fast.
That throw into the arms of Allen. Short completion, just 4 yards. And just like that, it's 3rd down. To the air again, Herbert. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Herbert He's got Njoku over the middle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Brings up second and a yard.
To throw again on second down. Herbert.
Let's go. The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. He can really smell 800 catches right now because that last one puts him at 799, knocking on the door. Running on first down, Eckler. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
Brings up second and 5.
It's Eckler again. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
The 19-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Brings up third and
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And it was the stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. 54 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Now a first and 10 at the 11. Here's Herbert. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a second and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The offense on third down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're looking at third and a few inches. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. 1 score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Hasn't been a lot of comfort in the pocket. He's been under pressure all day.
Yeah, exactly right. Instead of taking another hit, he just heaved that one away. I'd love to see him be able to stand in there and make the throw and try and pick it up on third down. But I'm not the one in there taking the hits either, so I totally cannot blame him for that one. Those hits are definitely catching up.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. This is taken at the 23. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
They started on the ground with Eckler pushing through the contact. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Once more, here's Eckler. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And Eckler will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack to stop him short of the first down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. .45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Now Burrow on 1st down. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
Now Herbert following the turnover. And no, incomplete. They can't convert. So they tried to bump the lead up to a field goal. Instead, it stays at 1 here in the 4th. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for... Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. After the turnover, here's Herbert. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Dayo Odeyingbo picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Going deep here for Allen. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. With it on the return now, here's Westbrook. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Joe Burrow and the Bengals set to go back on offense. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa giving him once again his third sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
To try again after the sack. Burrow. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Burrow will throw. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. Now it's Herbert. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd down.
To throw again on 2nd down. Herbert. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Herbert now. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. On 1st and 10, Herbert for Keenan Allen. That's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And the Chargers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chargers. Christian Kirk, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead is up to 15 now. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. With another return now, here's Westbrook. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Looking long for Westbrook. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. Caught on the right side by Adams. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. Draw play, it's Eckler. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. On 4th down, Herbert. And able to find Kirk complete. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And they'll indeed take a knee. Second and goal from the 6 this time. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he stopped immediately there. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Herbert to a knee, and that should just about write it into this one.
Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This to make it a 3-score game late. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So, for the Chargers, it was too little, too late as they finish off the regular season with a mark of 7-10.
And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati,
it's a tough loss to take as they'll finish things off at 9-8.
And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card.